Richard, my husband of 50 years, and I were strolling along a peaceful stretch of beach on an isolated island in Maine. There was no indication that anything was wrong. That is, until I noticed he suddenly lost his gait and became very confused and emotionally depressed. Hindsight. I should have driven him immediately to the hospital, but instead we went back to the camp. Even though Richard had a mild stroke in his 50s, I had no idea what was happening to him. The ambulance was called and the hour ride seemed like a lifetime. At one of the best hospitals in the country, he was evaluated and admitted. That's when I heard the dreaded word stroke. The outcome seemed quite grim. His diagnosis was an intracranial hemorrhage. A permanent frontal ventricular peritoneal shunt was implanted at the bleed site. Instead of a 2-week vacation, Richard spent 6 weeks in the hospital. When it was deemed safe, he was transferred by air to a rehab facility in Massachusetts. After 3 weeks of intense physical therapy and a strong will, he was able to go home. With the help of family, Richard was finally enjoying a close resemblance to his previous life. The bleed caused a horrific insult to his brain. I recalled a comment that after 12 months the brain would stop repairing itself. Of course his family thought that meant a complete cure. How wrong we were. But he continued to work, building back his life, enjoying his 6 children, grandchildren, and participating in the care of his horses. A courageous man he was. 1 year went by, then 2 and 3. Even though we were noticing a decline in his judgment, memory, and his behavioral personality, we accepted each day as a gift. He suffered 2 more strokes that sent him back to several rehab hospitals and then once again back home. We saw many doctors and different medications were tried. Richard was the recipient of excellent care, but the questions were many and the answers few. This disease is like floating through a spring mist, waiting for the summer sun to appear, only to find yourself standing under a tree in a thunderstorm. Let's put our brains together and support brain research, so other families won't have to suffer along this path of destruction. My story doesn't end here. Richard had a family history of stroke, and looking back, that should have been a warning. Witnessing his decline affected the entire family, but most of all, he was aware that his life was altered. After 4 years and the onset of other health issues, we had no option but to admit him to a facility that specialized in the care of patients with brain disorders. His diagnosis, vascular dementia, resulting from the brain bleed and several small strokes. After 18 months, Richard passed away peacefully on July 12, 2007. The dandelion represents all who suffer from the mystery of dementia. So strong and beautiful in the fields until the wind blows.